play karta kya? So we'll sing the song Jai Radha Madhava first, and then we'll have a Bhagavad Gita class. Page 60. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Ragama. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस नित्यलीला प्रविष्ट परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद अभयचरणानंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय नामाचार्य शीला ठाकुर हरिदास की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिगोवर्धन धाम की जय ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्रम श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय श्री जगन्नाथ स्वामी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी महारानी की जय गंगा मैया की जय यमुना मैया की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय वर्ल्ड वाइड इस्कॉन की जय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि 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 बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll recite the Mangalacharan from page 1 of the introduction. We can recite it together. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Pasindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the topic for today we chose as for everyone. Basic idea is that in the material world, if one person wins, somebody else loses. But as per the Bhagavad Gita, it doesn't have to be that way when we change our consciousness. So we'll read some verses that illustrate this point and hear some stories from the Srimad Bhagavatam that illustrate this principle. So this is text 66 from chapter 2. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shantir ashantasya kuta sukam nasti buddhir ayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shantir ashantasya kuta sukam. Govinda, you want to say? You can recite to the mic. It's already on. It's already on.
Nasti buddhera yuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shantihi ashantasya kuta sukham.
Nasti buddhir ayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavyata shantir asantasya kuta sukham.
Nasti buddhir ayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavyatah shantir ashantasya kutah sukam.
Nasti buddhir yuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavyata shantir ashantasya kutah sukham.
Nastir buddhir ayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavyata shantir ashantaya kuta
sukham. Na asti, there cannot be. Buddhi, transcendental intelligence, ayuktasya, of one who is not connected with Krishna consciousness, na, not, cha, and ayuktasya, of one devoid of Krishna consciousness, bhavana, fixed mind in happiness, na, not, cha, and abhavayataha, of one who is not fixed, shanti, peace, ashantasya, of the unpeaceful, kuta, baris, sukham, happiness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Shailesh Prabhu, you want to read the purport? It's verse 20, second chapter, 66.
Page 139. Purport by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no possibility of peace. So, it is confirmed in the 5th chapter, 5.29, that when one understands that Krishna is the only enjoyer of all the good results of sacrifice and penance, that He is the proprietor of all universal manifestations, and that He is the real friend of all living entities, then only can one have real peace. Therefore, if one is not in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be a final goal for the mind. Disturbance is due to want of an ultimate goal. And when one is certain that Krishna is the enjoyer, proprietor and friend of everyone and everything, then one can with a steady mind bring about peace. Therefore, one who is engaged without a relationship with Krishna is certainly always in distress and is without peace. However much he may make a show of peace and spiritual advancement in life, Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested peaceful condition which can be achieved only in relationship with Krishna.
Jai. So this is chapter 2, verse 66. Translation again. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? So logical. Yeah. So this is a wonderful verse, one of my favorite verses, which explain the preconditions for happiness. So in order to be happy, we need to be peaceful. And in order to be peaceful, we should have a connection with Krishna. So that is the essence of this verse. And it's actually said in the reverse way. If you don't have a connection, you cannot have a peace. And if you cannot have a peace, you cannot have a happiness. And Srila Prabhupada quotes this wonderful verse from the 5th chapter, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam. And he quotes this verse, Krishna is the only enjoyer of the good results of sacrifices and penance, and that he is the proprietor of all universal manifestations, and that he is the real friend of all living entities. And then Prabhupada says, therefore if one is not in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be a final goal for the mind. So that's the problem of not being Krishna conscious. Because the material energy works in such a way that it makes us think anything is possible. It provides us the illusion. So people endeavor for some result, and then so the three outcomes, either they don't achieve it, in which case they are not peaceful, or they achieve it and it doesn't satisfy them as much as they hoped it to be, or they achieve it and then it satisfies them and then they lose it, either naturally or artificially or naturally with the death of the body. So if you look at the conditions for which we are seeking outside of Krishna consciousness, by nature of this world, we are destined to lose, because by definition nothing is permanent here. So whatever we want to achieve, nothing can be permanent here. The essential nature of this world is temporary. So if one doesn't have this proper consciousness of what this world is and its relationship with Krishna, then one cannot have a final goal for the mind, because there is nothing you can hang on or latch on to that will be eternally true. So elsewhere in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah." Like of the temporary material body and asat, there is no endurance, and of the permanent sat, things like soul, there is no cessation. So there's a complete contrast between spirit and matter. So when we don't understand that spiritual nature and material nature and the difference, then we are expecting the spiritual properties in matter, and then we are trying to achieve those properties in matter. If you look at many of the scientific inventions and discoveries, they are all geared to this particular point, to try to make matter conscious and then try to achieve things. For example, in Google, they have a self-driving car. This is considered one of the top achievements in modern science, to have a car that drives by itself. So this is an example of a achievement that we are seeking after, hoping that it will fulfill our aspirations to reduce human accidents caused by human drivers, and reduce the size of the parking lots, because you can have your parking lots elsewhere. The cars can drive you, drop you at your work, and then go and park themselves somewhere else, and then you call them and then they'll come and pick you up later on. So this is an example of invention that we are trying to accomplish, hoping that it will help us achieve those goals. Now let's say if that is achieved, now either there are going to be problems or there are going to be more problems we have to solve. So we keep on solving those problems, but Krishna says that's never going to be end to that, because the very nature of this material energy is provided us to create that illusion as the controller and the enjoyer, whereas in reality, as in this verse says, Krishna is the controller and Krishna is the enjoyer. So because of that, there is always going to be that disconnect. So which is why to solve that problem, we need to actually revive that connection with Krishna and learn to see material energy in relationship to Krishna. So the more we see material energy away from Krishna, the more we are away from the truth. So when we learn to see material energy as a energy of Krishna, then the tendency to exploit is not there. Rather, the tendency to use material for Krishna's service is present, which satisfies the Atma. That's not because of the material nature of things, but because of its connection with Krishna. So that is why the word yukta is very significant in this verse. Krishna uses twice ayuktasya in the reverse, like negative sense, one who is not connected, which means the connection is so important to have a steady mind and steady transcendental intelligence to see things as they are. Prabhupada refers to intelligence as the ability to see things as they are. So we may see so many things, and if we don't see its connection with Krishna, it's just illusory in nature. It's not that the thing itself is illusory, but our conception is illusory. Everything is ultimately Krishna's energy and is real. It's founded on Krishna's energy, but our conception of what it is illusory. So we'll read this 5th chapter, verse 29, to understand some more of this particular point of how Krishna is the controller of everything. Yes, please.
which is I was having a discussion with a person yesterday, and one point came up, which is that Vedic wisdom is very perfect in sense, it describes so many things in so much perfection. However, at the same time, there wasn't, self-driving cars or electricity, 2,000, 3,000 years back, even though the society was completely Vedic. So people were, more doing manual labor. And now things are getting automated. So why is this? I mean, because earlier the society was so advanced and so scientific also. So why not, they also were able to have such advancement like mobile phones or electricity.
Actually, they were there. If you look at Bhagavad Gita, whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken in the room of Dhritarashtra by Sanjaya, and he had a live broadcast without, YouTube or without flash, with no technology, because he says, by Vyasa Prasad, by mercy of Vyasa. So everything that we hear about now was there, but it was utilized for the proper thing, not for just broadcasting, just songs and music all day long, and then getting the children hooked up to it. And see, that's a beauty of it. So let's say that the technology is there, but because of his lack of connection with Krishna, see how people are actually suffering because of the technology. So technology was used properly in the Vedic times. So Sanjaya used this divine vision to examine the events on the battlefield. Of course, we are trying to implement that through radio waves and matter now. But there's a far deeper, subtler technology where just Vyasadeva blesses and then Sanjaya gets the vision. Where is that now? We have to have such an infrastructure. We have to, if you look at the demands of electricity, why is the nation so much engrossed in the energy endeavors and energy problem solving, energy crisis now? Because we are consuming way more than our capacity to produce, and then we are hooked up on an entire national infrastructure, international infrastructure that depends on these things. So that is exactly the point that I mentioned in this verse. If you don't have that connection, you're going to think that it has something else, and then you go and solve it, and then you end up with a bigger problem, which is what Prahlad Maharaj also says. The solutions are worse than the problems you start with. So that's one example. So going back to your question now, like take the electricity concept, right? So of course in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says pavakaha. So there are those aspects. They may not have been used in a manner like this because there was no need, but we can understand that like there were fire weapons and water weapons. So those were much far more technically advanced, which we don't even know of. So it's not that like there were flying machines. So there were so many advanced vimana. So those were there, but they weren't controlled by power grids and lines and things like that. They were controlled by mantras, and that's the entire science of those technologies. But it's not based on the current technology of using electrons and molecules, but it was based on subtler energies. In other words, there are multiple levels of energies within this universe. Why should an advanced civilization only use the same? Actually, this is inferior, because you can see the byproducts of this exploiting matter in this way. We produce so much, and every company is now trying to reduce their carbon footprint. We are so it's so easy to use Google's search for a server, but if you look at the data centers, that requires so much engineering, so much endeavor to maintain it in an eco-friendly way. If you look at that, there's so much hard work. So that's why this technology is considered inferior compared to the Vedic technology, which is, you use mantras and achieve different powers, and use weapons and use things in a subtler way.
Thank you for the points. One more point that comes to my mind is that in previous times only very few people who were very qualified they were able to access those technologies.
Yes.
In this time, everyone
Correct.
has the technology in their
Correct.
hand, and
Correct.
everyone has the phones.
Right. Very good point. Yes. So that can be the argument saying that this is better than what was in the past, right?
Yeah.
But look at the effect of it. You have computers everywhere. See the amount of radiations it causes to people's health. see the effect of it. Like, yes, there is a benefit. It's not. It's undoubtedly beneficial. We all use that. I'm going to use that for my presentation as well. But see the effect of it. If you are going to use it, for sense gratification, there is a cost associated with it. Whether the benefit is worth the cost. So it's not that everything has its place. Since we live in the modern world, we use a microphone, we use technology, but we are using it for Krishna's service. So we are benefiting by that use of the technology. So technology itself is not bad. Yes, we don't have access to those technologies in the Vedic civilization now. So we are making use of whatever is available for spreading Krishna consciousness. So, but the yukta, that verse says, if the connection is there, then that's called yukta vairagya. So it's not binding us, it's liberating us. And Srimad Bhagavatam says of that principle, that which causes bondage can be therapeutically applied to get us relieved from the same bondage. So our use of these devices is in that spirit, not with the spirit to overcome those problems. And those we are aware of the consequences and use it judiciously to solve, to focus on the goal. So same elsewhere in another lecture, Srila Prabhupada mentioned very nicely. He says like, now you have got nice cars, nice roads, nice food, nice bodily features. He was talking to the American disciples. So you have everything, but what are you going to do with it? Now use everything for understanding more about Krishna. Then that is the best way to use. But if you don't do that, yes, look at the amount of technology and amount of gadgets available. Can people honestly say, I've become more peaceful because of this, or I've become more happy because of this? So, right? So there are so much side effects of these which we take it for granted that we have to live with it. So that's the downside of that. So we'll recite the first paragraph of the purport from the verse 29 of 5th chapter that Prabhupada is referring to in this verse 266. So for those who came new, we just started discussing the 66th verse of the 2nd chapter. Srila Prabhupada is quoting the Bhoktara Mekatapasam verse there, so we thought we'll recite that. So in that verse, Srila Prabhupada says, a person in full consciousness of me, Krishna says, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Rishabh, you want to read the purport?
The conditioned souls within the clutches of the illusory energy
are louder.
The conditioned souls within the clutches of the illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this: Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. The men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, because He is the proprietor of all the planets and the demigods thereon. No one is greater than He. He is greater than the greatest of demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.7, the Supreme Lord is described as Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of material nature, and the conditioned souls are under the stringent rules of material nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, including the demigods, are His subordinates. One can attain peace only in complete Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, we can pause there. So Srila Prabhupada says this so nicely here. Unless one understands these bare facts. So that's such a beautiful phrase there. Bare facts, which means Prabhupada is not trying to compromise to give us a version that we can accept. He says this is the real version. Maybe hard, but you have to accept it. We have to make that transition from our consciousness to Krishna consciousness. So that's why he's saying these are bare facts. There's no, need for sugarcoating this and making it palatable or anything like that. These have to be accepted as it is, which is the point. The point he's mentioning is in the previous two lines, the Lord is the master of the material nature, and the conditioned souls are under the stringent rules of material nature. And previous to that, he says, under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be the lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. So that's the point we were discussing about technology also. We think technology is helping us, but actually because we are enamored by that benefit, we forget the cost, which is that material nature is dominating us and making us more busy, more solve more problems, and keep us in that loop. So we are not for or against technology, but we are just trying to understand the proper perspective of things, which is what Srila Prabhupada calls as intelligence. So intelligence means to see things. So yes, there is a benefit for that. As you said, it can be made available for the masses. But what is the cost of creating that infrastructure and the side effects of all that? And see how they are, even if you have all of those, see how people are using that predominantly. They are getting more and more entangled in the material situation. So where is the focus for that? If we have Bhagavad Gita class or our programs distributed throughout all the iPhones and all the computers, that's great. There's nothing harm in it because of the transcendental use of that service. But where is that activity taking place? Because of that, we lose the benefit of all that technology being available to the masses. So that's the point. Yes, you have all these things, but where is Krishna? So in one time, when Srila Prabhupada was talking about the Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya verse, where he says you have to tolerate duality just like you tolerate heat and cold, the disciples asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, is it okay to have a heater in our rooms? Prabhupada said, yes, have a heater, but for having a heater, don't forget Krishna. So that's the point. Yes, if a heater is helping you in your devotional service, have it. But for maintaining a heater, don't forget Krishna. So which is what we are doing. We are having everything but except Krishna. Which is why the verse 2.266 says, without Krishna, how can you be peaceful? And how can you be happy without being peaceful? So, and you can see also, like, yes, mobile phones, let's say there is use, but if you look at how much, people exploit, and, they just talk Prajalpa and all these commercial providers, they have these plans. So everything is commercialized to exploit the tendency of people rather than to actually help them. So which is why that is a problem. It's not the technology, but it's what are we doing with it? Again and again, like Prabhupada says, we are doing the same thing, eating meat, mating, sleeping and defending. So we have to come out of that and try to use this for knowing about Krishna, for broadcasting about Krishna. Then that's valid use of all these things. So there's no prohibition against that, because that Krishna consciousness will help us use things properly in the proper perspective, and we learn to balance it with natural lifestyle also. That's the beauty of it. Once a person becomes Krishna conscious, he naturally realizes that actually I don't need this, and then reduces their footprint. So that is the way to solve the material problems, not by increasing the footprint. So and then so I was thinking about what are some of the examples of devotees that are exhibiting this particular consciousness that Srila Prabhupada is referring here, being completely peaceful, like Shant. So anybody has any realizations or comments you would like to share about devotees that from your scriptures that you think demonstrate this quality of being connected with Krishna and being peaceful despite disturbing circumstances?
We can see the example of Pandavas. I mean, in spite, yes. They were kind of detached. But still, they were happy with the company of Krishna. Primarily the Arjuna, right. When he was even offered, the Narayan Sena and the Krishna, he said, without you, I
Very
don't need
nice
any
point.
Narayana.
Very nice point.
Yeah. So and they were peaceful while even Duryodhana having all the riches of the world was still was quite unpeaceful.
Right.
So even without all that material whatever material comforts,
Yes.
we can still see they were blissful and were contented
Very
in
nice.
whatever situation they were actually.
Yes. Very nice, Prabhu. Anybody else like to share other examples from the scriptures that you know?
Another example that comes to my mind is that of Haridas Thakur.
Uh-huh.
That he's always engrossed in
Louder.
he's engrossed in thinking of Lord Krishna, chanting his name. So even when disturbing elements come in his life, then they do not disturb him, and he still remains peaceful and settled.
Very
and
nice.
then the environment starts to transform.
Right. Yeah, very good example. So you can see how this connection with Krishna makes such a difference in how you perceive your circumstance. It's a complete difference between day and night, right? So they don't think we are so much devoted to Krishna. Still, why is Krishna giving me this? That's not the consciousness, right? So anybody else? We can pass around the mic. Hari Guru Prabhu, please share some nectar.
You were asking about examples of devotees who
Manifest this consciousness of being completely Shanta in connection with Krishna.
even though they are surrounded with
Disturbing or things that, you would not expect them to be like that, but still they are because of this consciousness.
So, like for example, Prithu Maharaj, when he was performing the horse sacrifices, so the 99 sacrifices were completed, right? But so he did not get agitated when the 100th sacrifice was disturbed by Indra, and he had very humbly tried to make friendship with Indra, so much so that Indra felt ashamed of his activities. And that gesture by Prithu Maharaj was also very much appreciated by Krishna himself. And so even though the sages were present at the sacrifice and they were about to chant the mantras and forcefully drag Indra into the fire, and he was just trying to see, what's going to happen, but he didn't have any malice in his heart as to know why how dare he disturb my sacrifice. Like, I am the deputed emperor, and I have his son had already defeated Indra, but he kind of maintained his composure. And so same with Ambarish Maharaj also, like he was, and Parikshit Maharaj also, right? So they were all in the middle of the activities, administration, access to the riches of the world, which were beyond anyone's imagination and beyond anyone's power and ability. But when the moment came, they were able to give it up like it was a worthless thing. Even Bharat Maharaj. So all these devotees were what they were demonstrating is that they were all preparing to leave, basically. And they were tested when the moment arrived, which tested their renunciation and which tested their ability to be self-sustained, So they were not really fearful that, what will I do without access to the, tomorrow, where will my food come from, or where will my where will my clothing come from, or like those kind of things. So they were very much they were confident that Krishna will provide, and they were confident that the teachings of the sages and acharyas, whatever they have learnt, will come handy now, and this is the time to actually put the teachings into practice. So I guess that's what Haridas Thakur also, as Trishab said, that he was not disturbed. He was always meditating on Krishna, his pastimes, his holy name, chanting. So no matter what the surrounding disturbances were, he was not disturbed by that. So
Very nice.
full of
that is the point that Srila Prabhupada makes about disturbances. Disturbance is due to lack of ultimate goal. Disturbance of mind disturbance is due to want of an ultimate goal. So they all had ultimate goal, so they were completely fixed. That's why Krishna is quoting this verse in this Citta Pragya section. And regarding the point you mentioned about seeing things as worthless, there's a very nice verse that's part of the Chatur Shloki verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam that Lord Krishna himself tells to Brahma. So he says, "O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness." So, O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. So, it's a very wonderful verse. I will read some of it's a long purport. We'll just read one paragraph from the purport. Srila Prabhupada says, in the previous verse, it has already been concluded that in any stage of the cosmic manifestation, its appearance, its sustenance, its growth, its interactions of different energies, its deterioration and its disappearance, all has its basic relation with the existence of the personality of Godhead. And as such, whenever there is forgetfulness of this prime relation with the Lord, and whenever things are accepted as real without being related to the Lord, that conception is called a product of the illusory energy of the Lord. Because nothing can exist without the Lord, it should be known that the illusory energy is also an energy of the Lord. The right conclusion of dovetailing everything in relationship with the Lord is called Yogamaya, or the energy of union. And the wrong conception of detaching a thing from its relationship with the Lord is called the Lord's Daivi Maya or Mahamaya. Both the Mayas also have connection with the Lord, because nothing can exist without being related to Him. As such, the wrong conception of detaching relationships from the Lord is not false, but illusory. So in other words, everything is connected with Krishna, which is why Krishna is saying, if you don't see that connection, you're not going to be happy. Because you are not aligned with the truth. You are not aligned with the reality. Because the reality is everything is connected with Krishna. In this verse we are reading, Nasti buddhir ayuktasya. That's the significance of the word yukta. Because that connection is there. And if you are not seeing the connection, ayuktasya, then you cannot have a proper conception. You cannot have a proper intelligence, proper mind. So because of that, you are sure to engage in illusory activities that are not going to produce the results, because they are not reality. Like there is a certain law in physics and you run an experiment that doesn't take that law into account and think something else is going to happen. You may think and you may do something, but the law is going to take precedence than your conception. So as Prabhupada said elsewhere, the material energy dominates us. So material energy is the law that's established. So if you act without that connection, then it's not going to produce the result that we expect, which is where the disconnect is. So anybody else wants to share other examples of how devotees who have maintained this consciousness amidst disturbing situations? Yes.
I think one of the good example is Bhakt Prahlada and the atrocities which was done onto him. He completely surrendered himself to the Lord, and whatever atrocities were done on him, he was unperturbed. And ultimately, the God himself had to come to defend him. And that shows that if you are completely surrendering to the God, whatever the circumstances, whatever the atrocities it might appear, it is all just illusory, and nothing can hamper you from achieving your ultimate goal.
Very nice.
That is all.
Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? I have some more examples here. Some of them are already covered. So this is one other thing was the story of Chitraketu. When I was reading it, was so nice, so I thought we can maybe read some sections from this. I'll read some translation and maybe a couple of purports. So this is the section from the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 17. So this is a nice pastime of how Chitraketu became the demon Vritrasura. Srila Sukadeva Goswami said, after offering obeisances to the direction from which Ananta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, had disappeared, Chitraketu began traveling in outer space as the head of Vidyadharas. One time, while Chitraketu was traveling in outer space on a brilliantly effulgent airplane, we were taking over technology, given to him by Lord Vishnu, he saw Lord Shiva surrounded by Siddhas and Sharanas. Lord Shiva was sitting in an assembly of great saintly persons and embracing Parvati on his lap with his arm. Chitraketu laughed loudly and spoke within the hearing of Parvati. Chitraketu said, Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the general populace, is the best of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. He enunciates the system of religion. Yet, how wonderful it is that he is embracing his wife Parvati in the midst of an assembly of great saintly persons. Lord Shiva, whose hair is matted on his head, has certainly undergone great austerities and penances. Indeed, he is the president in the assembly of strict followers of Vedic principles. Nonetheless, he is seated with his wife on his lap in the midst of saintly persons and is embracing her as if he were a shameless, ordinary human being. That as if is very important. He is not meaning it, but ordinary conditioned persons generally embrace their wives and enjoy their company in solitary places. How wonderful it is that Lord Mahadev, although a great master of austerity, is embracing his wife openly in the midst of an assembly of great saints. So you can see it's something he didn't expect, and he was not actually offending Lord Shiva, but he was expressing his wonder. Actually, he was indirectly glorifying him, that only Lord Shiva could do this, have his wife on his lap and not be disturbed by it in the midst of great assemblies. So, but at the same time, he found some discordance in the sense, yes, Lord Shiva can do that, but what if common people imitate that? That's not good. So he's indirectly trying to express that it's like correcting Lord Shiva, but not offending him, but glorifying, but at the same time, so there is a little bit of that pride that he was demonstrating by this. So Srila Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, after hearing Chitraketu's statement, Lord Shiva, the most powerful personality whose knowledge is fathomless, simply smiled and remained silent, and all the members of the assembly followed the Lord by not saying anything. So they are also demonstrating this principle. Not knowing the prowess of Lord Shiva and Parvati, Chitraketu strongly criticized them. His statements were not at all pleasing, and therefore the goddess Parvati, being very angry, spoke as follows to Chitraketu, who thought himself better than Lord Shiva in controlling the senses. That's how Parvati interpreted it. Yeah, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, although Chitraketu never meant to insult Lord Shiva, he should not have criticized the Lord. Subtle differences between insulting and criticizing. Even though the Lord was transgressing social customs. It is said, Teji yasam na doshaya. One who is very powerful should be understood to be faultless. That's such a nice principle. One who is very powerful should be understood to be faultless. For example, one should not find faults with the sun, even though it evaporates urine from the street. The most powerful cannot be criticized by an ordinary man or even by a great personality. Chitraketu should have known that Lord Shiva, although sitting in that way, was not to be criticized. The difficulty was that Chitraketu, having become a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, Sankarshan, was somewhat proud at having achieved Lord Sankarshan's favor, and therefore thought he could now criticize anyone, even Lord Shiva. This kind of pride in a devotee is never tolerated. A Vaishnava should always remain very humble and meek and offer respect to others. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadaharihi. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. A Vaishnava should not try to minimize anyone else's position. It is better to remain humble and meek and chant the Hare Krishna mantra. The word Nirjita Atma Abhimanine indicates that Chitraketu thought himself a better controller of the senses than Lord Shiva, although actually he was not. So much emphasis. Because of all these considerations, Mother Parvati was somewhat angry at Chitraketu. The goddess Parvati said, "Alas, has this upstart now received a post from which to punish shameless persons like us? Has he been appointed ruler, carrier of the rod of punishment? Is he now the only master of everything? Alas, Lord Brahma, who has taken his birth from the lotus flower, does not know the principles of religion, nor do great saints like Bhrigu and Narada, nor the 4 Kumaras headed by Sanat Kumara. Manu and Kapila have also forgotten the religious principle. I suppose it to be because of this that they have not tried to stop Lord Shiva from behaving improperly." This Chitraketu is the lowest of Kshatriyas, for he has impudently overridden Brahma and other demigods by insulting Lord Shiva, upon whose lotus feet they always meditate. Lord Shiva is personified religion and the spiritual master of the entire world, and therefore Chitraketu must be punished. This person is puffed up because of his achievements, thinking, "I am the best." He does not deserve to approach the shelter of Lord Vishnu's lotus feet, which are worshipped by all saintly persons, for he is impudent, thinking himself greatly important. "O impudent one, my dear son, now take birth in a low, sinful family of demons, so that you will not commit such an offense against toward exalted saintly persons in this world." Prabhupada in the purport explains how she's addressing as my dear son. So she's Mother Durga, so everybody is her son, and it's mother's duty to correct the son. And Prabhupada quotes, Mother Yashoda punished Krishna by binding him and showing him a stick. Thus it is the duty of a mother to chastise her beloved son, even in the case of the Supreme Lord. So that's so sweet here. So it is to be understood that Mother Durga was justified in punishing Chitraketu. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, "My dear King Parikshit, when Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati, he descended from his airplane, bowed before her with great humility and pleased her completely. Chitraketu said, 'My dear mother, with my own hands folded together, I accept the curse upon me. I do not mind the curse, for happiness and distress are given by the demigods as a result of one's past deeds.'" So you can see how his consciousness. Deluded by ignorance, the living entity wanders in the forest of this material world, enjoying the happiness and distress resulting from his past deeds, everywhere and at all times. Therefore, my dear mother, neither you nor I to be blamed for this incident. In this material world, neither the living entity himself nor others, friends and enemies, are the cause of material happiness and distress. But because of gross ignorance, the living entity thinks that he and others are the cause. This material world resembles the waves of a constantly flowing river. Therefore, what is a curse and what is a favor? What are the heavenly planets and what are the hellish planets? What is actually happiness and what is actually distress? Because the waves flow constantly, none of them has an eternal effect. So and then he goes on some more explanation, and then he says, "O mother, you are now unnecessarily angry but since all my happiness and distress are destined by my past activities, I don't plead to be excused or relieved from your curse. Although what I have said is not wrong, please let whatever you think is wrong be pardoned." Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, "O King Parikshit, subduer of the enemy, after Chitraketu satisfied Lord Shiva and his wife Parvati, he boarded his airplane and left as they looked on. When Lord Shiva and Parvati saw that Chitraketu, although informed of the curse, was unafraid, they smiled being fully astonished by his behavior. Therefore, in the presence of the great sage Narada, the demons, the inhabitants of Siddhaloka and his personal associates, Lord Shiva, who is most powerful, spoke to his wife Parvati while they all listened. So this is Lord Shiva said, "My dear beautiful Parvati, have you seen the greatness of the Vaishnavas? Being servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, they are great souls who are and are not interested in any kind of material happiness." And then Shiva quotes this very famous verse, "Narayana parasarve na kutashana bibhyati swargapa varga narakeshu apitulyartha darshinaha." Devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same, for such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. So that is the yukta, connection. So since the devotees are fully connected with the Lord, the only focus is on the service. Whatever is favorable to the service, they accept it, and whatever is not favorable, they reject it. So and then Lord Shiva explains this, and then Parvati realizes her mistake, that she shouldn't have cursed him, and then she feels ashamed. And actually this whole incident is arranged by Lord Vishnu, because he wanted his devotee to come back to Vaikuntha Loka soon. So he arranged this pastime so that he could become a demon and come back immediately. So you can see there are multiple levels of understanding here. But the basic idea is, through these incidents, Lord is showing how his pure devotees act. So that is the point. We should understand how sometimes they may be put in such situations by the Lord to teach us some examples. But that is the point as to how these are examples as to how to act in this particular consciousness with full conviction, as Prabhu said, protection, that the Lord will protect me, and be in the full consciousness of being connected with the Krishna in devotional service. So when we are in that situation, that is a platform of peace, and with that is a basis, that's a precursor for happiness. So if we don't have such consciousness, no matter what we gain and lose in life, we are not going to be happy. So that is the central point that's mentioned in this verse, and we can see how Srila Prabhupada gave us this structure in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness to be always connected with Krishna. Like right from the morning, we perform the Mangala Arati and then chant our japa, and then offer bhoga to the Lord, take prasadam, do some service for the Lord during the day, and then come back and attend the artis at the temple or at home, and then read books, distribute books, help in constructing temples. So many activities, and all these devotees are here, are all doing these activities, and we are all engaged. That yukta is fulfilled by all this devotional services. So many types, not just one type, but so many ways of engaging according to one's proclivity and according to one's means. So there's a complete engagement. So Srila Prabhupada never translates bhakti as just devotion. He always translates devotional service, because that service is our manifestation of our connection with Krishna. Somebody may say, yeah, I am a great devotee, but how do you act as a devotee? By engaging in service to Krishna. So that Krishna also says that in the 10th chapter, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samavita. So one who understands Krishna as the source of everything naturally engages in Krishna's service. So that is a symptom of their understanding. Otherwise, that connection is not there. And without that, neither they can be happy nor can they make others happy. So Srila Prabhupada gave us this wonderful formula for being always connected with Krishna somehow or other. Wherever we are, even if we are at home, there's so much facility now. We can tune into any of the ISKCON temples on mayapur.tv and be connected with all the Vaishnavas and the programs there. It's actually, it's like we don't have enough time actually to get connected. There is so much opportunity, many of which afforded by the technology. also. But the beauty is that all this is there for us to take advantage of. So the more we get connected with Krishna, our consciousness becomes fixed, as Krishna says here. And then that is the platform in which we can approach happiness. So without that, artificially trying to find happiness, yes, it may sometimes be happening and sometimes not happening according to our karma, but there's no guarantees. And that's not so much laudable, because we may have now, but we may lose later. So there's nothing sacred about it or nothing great about it. Whereas when you connect with Krishna, then it doesn't matter whether happiness or distress. That's a much higher platform of existence, and it's so satisfying to the Atma. And this platform, this particular consciousness can be had by anyone. That is another beauty of it. Bhakti is called ahetuki and apratihata. So there's no cause, or there is nothing that can stop us from performing bhakti. So in that sense, it's for everyone. So you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be poor, you don't have to be black, white, Indian, American. Doesn't matter what the background is. Anybody, anywhere can perform this, like a devotional service and be connected with Krishna in this Krishna consciousness and achieve all this spiritual benefits. So, if there are any questions, we can have now. Otherwise, we can move on to the next program, Aarti. Yes, go ahead, Prabhu.
When you mentioned Maharaj Chitraketu's pastime, it occurred to me that I wanted your clarification on this, that in Bhagavad Gita the Lord says apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhag sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. That so sometimes the question arises that how can a sadhu who's advanced, can he even do abominable acts, right? And so there Krishna is telling that even though it looks like he does something like that, it should be understood that he is actually not affected by it. And he says that Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shanti nigachati kaunte pratijanahi namay bhakta pranashati. So I think that this can this be also an example in that same sense, that although it looked like Chitraketu had insulted Lord Shiva, but he demonstrated an equanimity of mind where he not even for a moment feared for the worse or become elated for the good. And he demonstrated an equanimity on the strength of his absorption in Krishna consciousness, that he was unaffected by the curse. And so is that a good
yes,
example?
Actually, I'll read the purport that that Prabhupada says about this, how this was. Yeah. So in the for purport one of the verse, Srila Prabhupada says, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says in this connection, the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted to bring Chitraketu to Vaikuntha Loka as soon as possible. The Lord's plan was that Chitraketu be cursed by Parvati to become Vritrasura, so that in his next life he could quickly return home back to Godhead. There have been many instances in which a devotee acting as a demon has been brought to the kingdom of God by the mercy of the Lord. For Parvati to be embraced by Lord Shiva was natural in a relationship between husband and wife. This was nothing extraordinary for Chitraketu to see. Nonetheless, Chitraketu laughed loudly to see Lord Shiva in the situation, even though he should not have done so. Thus he was eventually cursed, and this curse was a causing of his returning home back to Godhead. So at least in Chitraketu's case, it was the part of the Lord's plan. So we can understand that verse as a demonstration of this principle based on this insight by Srila Prabhupada. Does that answer your question? Any other comments or questions devotees like to share?
Sometimes we get a little pride. We've seen like even Chitraketu, or there are many examples where Hanuman sometimes got a slight pride, or Bhima got a pride. And so what do we do as a devotee in that case when let's say we are able to spot it, then you're lucky, but sometimes you can't even spot it.
In ourselves, you mean?
In ourselves, yeah. And then, or if you are able to, what can you do to, in other words, let's say you have committed this offense, right? Now what can you do when you spotted it?
So one thing that is essential for all of us in spiritual life is to have friends and mentors who are able to see through those things that we ourselves fail to see, and then be able to guide us on the right path. That's why the association of devotees is so important. Srila Prabhupada says one who thinks he can make progress in Krishna consciousness outside of the association of devotees is living in hallucination. Because we accept that we are so fallible, and even in devotional service, even in having a spiritual master and having Vaishnavas to guide us, we make so many mistakes. That's simply our tatashta shakti potency. That's how little potency we have to deal with things. So we are prone to such mistakes, but just by accepting that fact and taking the proper help, we can correct ourselves and then be situated, which is why the association and that relationship we should be honest. We should have a relationship that are where people can have such level of conversation very honestly. That's one of the things that Srila Rupa Goswami recommends in the Upadeshamrita, Guhyama Akyati Prichati. So we should be able to reveal our mind in confidence and hear suggestions in confidence. So that we all go through that process. That is it's so purifying actually. That is something we can practically do. Can you pass the mic?
I had a small comment on your question. I had read somewhere which probably gave me the perfect explanation to something similar that I had felt in the past. So when you have the consciousness of feeling that pride in that one moment, right? Essentially, that is ego kicking in. And ego, if you break the word down, ego, it can be abbreviated as edging out God. So when you're feeling that, you're really not connected to the source or to Krishna consciousness right in that moment. And as soon as you have that awareness that when you're feeling that you're really edging out God, you can return back. And it can happen literally in a moment's time. You have a choice whether you consciously catch yourself and drop that, and then you connect again. And that pride can drop in that one instance. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. And also, if we are sincere, Krishna is a Paramatma in our heart. He will, indicate to us, and we'll be able to realize that we are edging God out. So it's a nice comment. Any other comments or realizations like to share? Okay. So with that, we'll have our next program, Gaura Arti. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Thank you. नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे नमस्ते जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री शिव जय जय गौरा चांदे आरती को शोभा की बजाय जय की बजाय जय गौरा चांदे आरती को शोभा की बजाय जानवी तत्वने जगमान लोभा जान जानवी तत्वने जगमान लोभा जानवी तत्व दकीने निताय चान बामे गदाधार की बा निकाते अद्वैता श्रीनी वासा चक्रधारा निकात बसियाचे गौरा चांद रत्न सिंहासने की बा आरती करेन ब्रह्मा आदि देव गाने नर हरि आदि करी चामार दुल्हाया की बनर हरि की बनर हरि आदि करी चामार दुल्हाया की बनर हरि संजय मुकुंद भाषु गोशादि गाया संजय मुकुंद संजय मुकुंद भाषु गोशादि गाया संजय शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला की शंका बाजे घंटा की शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला की शंका मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परमरसाला मधुर मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परमरसाला मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परमरसाला बहु कोटि चंद्र जीने वदन उज्ज्वला की बहु कोटि की बहु कोटि चंद्र जीने वदन उज्ज्वला की बहु गलते वनमाला करे जलमाला गलते वनमाला करे जलमाला गलते वनमाला करे जलमाला गलते वनमाला करे जलमाला शिवा शुक नारद प्रेमे गदगाधा किव शिवा शुक नारद प्रेमे गदगाधा किव शिवा शुक नारद प्रेमे गदगाधा किव शिवा शुक प्रेमे गदगाधा बाकाति विनोदा देके गौरार संपादा बाकाति bakati vinodadike Gaurara sampada bakati vinodadike Gaurara sampada Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Shobha Kiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Jana Vitatavane Jagamana Lova Jana Vitatavane Jagamana Lova Gaurangera Roti Shobha Jagajana Mana Lova Gaurangera Roti Gaurangera Roti Shobha Jagajana Mana Lobha Gaurangera Roti Shobha Jagajana Mana Lobha Shankha baje Ghanta baje Madhur 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 baje Shankha baje Ghanta baje Madhur 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 baje Shankha baje Ghanta baje Madhur 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 baje Shankha baje Ghanta baje Madhur 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 Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Shri Gaura Hari Nitai Gauranga Shri Gaura Hari Nitai Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Jai Nadia Bihari Shri Gaura Hari Nadia Gaura 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 Hari Gaura 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 Hari Gaura 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 Hari Gaura 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura. Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha, Jaya Radha. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha, Jaya. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी भगवान की, श्रीमन महाप्रभु की, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की, गौर भक्त वृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर शिला प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। श्री वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की, अयोध्या धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की, गंगा माई यमुना माई की, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, ट्रांसीडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlada Laddaine, हिरण्यकाशे पूर्वक्षः, हिरण्यकाशे वक्षः, शिलटङ्का नखालवे, शिलटङ्का इतो न सिंहो परतो न सिंहो, इतो न सिंहो परतो न सिंहो, यतो यतो यामि ततो न सिंहा, यतो यतो यामि ततो न सिंहा, बहे न सिंहो हृदये न सिंहा, बहे न सिंहो नारसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपते, नारसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपते, तव करकमलवरे नाखाम् अद्भुत सिंगां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा, केशवदिता नरहरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। तव कर कमलवरे नाका अद्भुत सिंगां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा, केशवदिता केशवदिता नरहरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। केशवदिता नरहरि रूपा, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta Dev Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta Dev Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Narahari Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Narahari Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Jaya Palan Maharaj, Jaya Palan Maharaj, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudevai Jaya Gurudevai Jaya Gurudevai Jaya Gurudevai Jaya Gurudevai Jaya Gurudevai Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक भगवान लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। निताय गौर प्रेम आनंदे हरि हरि बोल। Mata, you can wait for closing. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Those who are at the door, maybe they can just come in a little bit, have darshan quickly because the curtains are about to close. Can we all move forward? Those at the front, can we all move forward a little bit? Those at the door, maybe they can just come in a little bit. Okay, kids. Okay. श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की जय। श्रीमान महाप्रभु की जय। श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। We welcome everyone to the Sunday Feast program at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. In close. Thank you, Mata. This is the first week in the month of March. The month of March brings about a lot of excitement and a lot of activity here at ISV. The reason for that being, can anybody guess what comes in the month of March? Is exactly it's the Gaur Purnima. As soon as March comes, then we are all in anticipation of our biggest festival of the year, which is Sri Gaur Purnima, the appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So on our altar we have, along with Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, deity of Sriman Mahaprabhu. In this age of Kali, entrance into the understanding of Lord Krishna is actually almost impossible. But that impossible feature has been made very much possible, and not only possible, but it has been made very easy. To understand Lord Krishna is not a easy matter, but that has been made very accessible, not only to the topmost yogis, the topmost of meditators or topmost devotees, but to everybody, to all common people, just like you and me. And that has been done by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he brought about this movement of Harinam Sankirtana. This Harinam Sankirtana is actually going on in the spiritual world all the time, and few droplets of that Sankirtan have dropped into this material world, and Mahaprabhu has carefully collected these drops and he is widely distributing. Even a little bit of it, even if a pinch of it, if you come in touch with it, your life will become most auspicious. This is the process that is recommended in the age of Kali, because any other process it's almost impossible to follow and to get any benefit from it. But congregationally, when we chant the holy names of Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, some kind of magic happens. As you must have noticed today, when we were chanting ecstatically in front of the deities, we experience an extremely fast and tangible purification of the heart. The heart is contaminated with so many desires, material desires, to lord it over material nature, birth after birth. But by chanting this holy names of the Lord in the association of devotees, our tendencies which keep us bound in this material world are gradually cleansed away, and we come to the platform of spiritual understanding. This is the process, and once we understand Lord Krishna, as it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanmanaiti mameti so Arjuna. Once in truth, we are able to understand Lord Krishna, his birth and his transcendental activities, then we become eligible to be transferred to the spiritual world. So we welcome everyone and we invite everybody to come here and participate in this yajna, in this sacrifice of chanting the holy names of the Lord. We have 3 meetings every week. On Sundays we have a feast, just like today. On Wednesday evenings we have a Bhagavad Gita class from 6 to 8, followed by Aarti. And on Saturday mornings we have a Srimad Bhagavatam class starting at 7:30, which goes on till 10 in the morning. So we invite you all to come as often as you can and be a part of this congregation. It's a relatively small crowd today, but in a way it's good because we got a lot of space to dance. I'm sure we'll have a lot more space to dance and chant in our new temple, to which we'll be moving very soon. We'd like to invite and welcome our first timers, those who have come to the temple for the first time. I can see there are many new faces, so we'll pass a microphone around. If you could, what? New person? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll pass. We'll pass a microphone. If you can tell us your name and how you heard about us and how do you like it here, being the first time.
This is Vivek, and I have been to Harinam Sankirtan means in different temples, even in Bangalore, and here in Krishna Balaram temple also. So here it is first time.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah, very much. It's
very much exciting, right? So we'll look forward to see you again soon, yes, right? Sure. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Who's next here? For the first time? Looks like you've been here before. Okay, maybe.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
My
Krishna.
name is Usha. I'm from San Diego, and I've been going to San Diego's temple from last 20 years.
20 years. Wow.
And this was my desire to see all temples in California at least. So I'm visiting my friends here, and I told them, "Can you take me?" They said, "Of course, we'll take you." So I'm seeing the number of people compared to San Diego is less, but the Kirtan was so ecstatic.
Oh, thank you very much.
I was just lost. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So beautiful.
Thank you very much. How long are you here?
I'm leaving tonight and my flight is 9:30.
Oh, 9:30? Okay. Make sure you get prasadam and then you leave. Okay, thank you. Who's next? There. Here? One more. Okay.
Hi, I'm Minnie.
Minnie?
Rawat.
Okay.
I recently came here and my roommate visits here pretty often, so I accompanied her for the first time.
Who's your roommate?
It's Richa Sharma.
Richa Sharma. Okay. Oh, here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing your friend. Do you like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, so both roommates can come more often. Okay. Can we have the headset from the back? That microphone is not very... Pass this one around.
I guess there is no reason not to like the dark place. I guess the proper question will be, how much do you like it?
Okay, so we'll change the question to how much do you like it? On a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, those who introduce themselves, can you say how much you liked it? 10? Oh, wow. Okay, who's next?
Hello.
Yes, it's working.
Okay. Hello, my name is Sampath Raghavan. I'm from Fremont, and I've been to Berkeley Temple many times. So this time I'm coming here for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, how many of you want to go to heaven? How many want to go now? It's not like that, but we always go to temple. It's a part of our culture, so that's why we can teach our kids the values and about our culture and everything. So we really like to come here, and I like 10.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else at the back?
Hi everyone, I am Seema Chaudhary and I live in Fremont, California, and I am here with my friend Sampath, and I like this temple and I also give the rating 10.
10, oh very good. Yeah.
Hi everyone, this is Sirisha, and as Seema said, we three came actually together with kids, and rating is 10 out of 10. Yeah, of course,
Wow. We need to publish this on our website. Newcomers rate our temple 10 out of 10. Okay. Damodar Prabhu, we can do something about it. Okay, did we miss anybody? Any newcomers? Did we miss them? Okay, if not, we're also glad to see those who come not once or twice but many times. There are many old familiar faces we'll also like to welcome, and we're happy always to see everyone here. So tonight's lecture on the Bhagavad Gita was brought to us by His Grace Govinda Carana Prabhu, and yes, thank you very much. There was also nice discussion around your lecture, and the set of verses that you chose was quite good. I came in late, but I was hearing at my house online. So thank you. Tonight's kirtan was led by Hari Sankirtan Prabhu. It was very nice kirtan, right? And a lot of nice dancing, and I'm glad Prashant Prabhu joined with the mridanga, so that added nice flavor to the kirtan. Despite the Narsimhadev prayers were led by Damodar Vamshidhari Prabhu. Thank you. Tonight's sponsor, I believe Bhavani is sponsoring the feast tonight on the occasion of her return from India, and also and actually it's also her brother's birthday today, March 3rd. So he's in India, and so for her brother she's sponsoring the feast. Is she there? She's inside? Okay. Okay, who are the cooks for tonight? I know it was led by Neelam Mataji. Who else? Sirisha Mataji. And Hari Sankirtan Prabhu. Okay. So tonight's cooks were Neelam Mataji, Sirisha Mataji and Hari Sankirtan Prabhu. Big hand to the cooks. Okay. Is there anything else for ISV tonight? Yes. Couple of announcements. Let's pass the microphone to back at there. She want to make... Okay.
Prabhuji, today is actually His Grace Rajendra Kumar Prabhu's birthday.
Oh, Rajan.
He's not here, but just thought...
Okay, we'll sing for him anyway.
Yes, Prabhu.
Rajendra Kumar Prabhu's birthday. Tomorrow is Kameshwari Mataji's birthday too, so we'll sing for her after Rajendra Kumar Prabhu. Okay, Rajendra Kumar Prabhu is not here, but he's a regular member of our congregation, and we'll sing for him. Oh, maybe you can call him, yeah. And in the meantime, we can sing for Kameshwari Mataji. Where is she? Okay, Mataji, can you please stand? You cannot hide. Okay, all together. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Kameshwari Mataji, Hare Krishna to you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my dandavats at your lotus feet. And thank you so much for the wishes. And I feel very fortunate to receive these blessings amongst all the exalted Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, let's sing for Rajendra Kumar Prabhu. He's on the call. Okay, Rajendra Kumar Prabhu, here come your birthday wishes. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Rajendra Kumar Prabhu, Hare Krishna to you. Speech on the phone. Okay, hold on. You're not able to hear. Okay, that's all. Okay. Say thank you. Okay. All right. Anything else for ISP tonight? If not, oh, Bhavani is here. Let's welcome back Bhavani. Who's came back from Haribol. Speech, short speech, no speech. Okay. We also like to welcome our yatris from Mayapur. I'm seeing that devotees are returning back slowly. We already see Ramanand Saka Prabhu, and we also saw Sundaram Prabhu and Gandharvika Mataji. Prabhuji, would like to say a few words about your Mayapur Yatra?
Mayapur Yatra.
It's on.
Yeah, this has been very ecstatic trip. We spent there about 10 days.
Okay.
The whole day, we have a whole day program. In the morning hours, we used to go to different places. And in the evening hours, just hearing and chanting. But throughout the day, irrespective of where we are, the hearing and chanting constantly went on. So that's the highlight.
Very nice. Mayapur is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, and this is a very busy time of the year, and few of our devotees were fortunate to go there during this time. Damodar, you have small announcement? Okay. One last announcement and then Prashadam. Oh, you too? Okay.
Very quick one. So I have sent a mail earlier. So we will be actually moving to the new site very quickly now, and we are finalizing the dates. So as you know, we have purchased a new temple in Mountain View, and we will be going in that very soon. And then one of the things was to create $1 million wall, where more than 155 tiles have been sold. As we promised, we want to have the inscription which you would like to dedicate. So you can have a name or a short message. And now the time is ticking. So what we need is to collect from you very quickly your message or the name which you want to put. So a few considerations. The total number of characters in that message cannot exceed 130. That includes the spaces and all. And it will be only in English language. So that means that if you want to put a Hindi message or a Devanagari, so it will not be in that font. It will be translated into English and like written in English form. So if you can, and preferably if you can keep it around 100, 110, so then we can, try to see if we can put some design like lotus flowers or something like that. Correct? So to make it more beautiful. So all of you who have helped us in the past with donating one or more tiles, it's time to now provide what you want to inscribe in that. And you can contact either me, Hitendra Prabhu, or Ballabh Bhimani Prabhu. And you can also send an email, so it is okay. And in case you are feeling left out, there's no worry, because you can sponsor the tile anytime, okay? Each tile comes for $2,000. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, go ahead.
Just a couple of quick announcements. This coming weekend, we are having a minor cleanup of the temple to dispose all unwanted things from the temple, as this is to get prepared for the move to the new temple. We want to just dispose of all unwanted things, and we are looking for few volunteers who can help us here to in this effort of finding all the unwanted things and doing some cleanup. If anyone is interested, please contact me. The second one is if anyone is interested to help clean the temple after today's program, please you can contact either Harsankirtan Prabhu or myself. The cleanup will involve just cleaning the floors and washing the pots. Also, I heard that we need a few devotees to serve the prasadam. If anyone is interested to serve the prasadam, please go to the place where the prasadam is being served. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll all sing prasadam prayers. We'll do the short version today. Mahaprasade Govinde, Prasade Namo Brahmani Vaishnave, Svalpa Punyavatam Rajan, Vishwaso Naiva Jayate, Sharira Avidyajal, Jodendriya Tahekal, जिभे पहले विषया सागरे पहले तार मध्य जिभायति लोभो मोय सुदुर्मति ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ दया मोय कृष्ण बड़ कोरी बारे जिभा जाय स्वप्रसादन दिलो भाई सई अन्नमृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे डाको श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय निमाय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Bhagavad Shri Mahaprasad ki jai. Please come and take prasadam. Hare Krishna.
Amma's going home. Vedanta. Vedanta, Amma's going home. You have to come. Don't touch all that. Take a picture. Give me the kartas, beta. Okay, find your mom. Closing up. Come on. Find your mom.
You have a pen? Yeah. I have one if you don't have. How are you? Yeah. I was just asking something.
You know, I've been telling escapees for like 3 months. Can you believe that? Don't worry, I'm there. Yeah.